Welcome to my channel news. It is December 24th, 2022. This will be a Christmas Eve, Christmas channel news special, I guess. Yeah, especially since many of you won't even see this. It's 5:38 right now as I'm recording this for the second time, by the way. I had sound issues the first time and I had completed it, so here I am doing it for the second time. So I'm fortunate to have completed this video at all since I was hit with the flu last weekend, and it really got worse last Wednesday. Today is Saturday. My youngest son brought home something nasty from his last day of school. We've all been dealing with this in the last week, and my wife was even hit with it yesterday, so that's the kind of Christmas holidays we're having. We've also been hit with a huge snowstorm with minus 12 Celsius temperatures. It's unheard of what's happened here in the greater Vancouver area. I've never seen so much snow in my life. Going out to get things done in the last week hasn't helped me get better either. In fact, it made me worse on Wednesday. So I want to talk about what I've been doing since the end of Oblivion, and though with how I'm feeling, I mean, I am improving. I can feel it this morning, but I'm still pretty tired and my head isn't too clear. I felt it would be easier to write it all down instead of just, I've really been working on just saying it off the top of my head and using note points on my monitor. But in this case, I'm going to have to read more than going freestyle, I guess. I was until this last Wednesday, working hard on modding Skyrim to the point where I was happy. I was pretty much done, but I gave up on a few mods that I really wanted that seemed a little difficult for me to get working, notably the Skyrim Seasons mod, which I wanted more than anything actually, but that requires quite a lot of configuration, and I wasn't really ready to go down that route after so much modding and starting to feel really nasty. Like, again, it didn't start Wednesday, it started like Sunday and then just got worse on Wednesday. But I can say that it was a lot of fun getting back into Skyrim and using test characters to make sure the mods are functioning right. The dark face issue did slow me down for a few days, and until I found out how to deal with it. Now if I encountered a dark face, I could just use the Easy NPC mod, which is hooked up to my game via Vortex. Vortex is the mod manager that I use from Nexus Mods, and I can just fix it quite fast, so long as I remember the name of the character, the NPC that has the dark face. So I've written out a lengthy video to come next. I hope to work on it after Christmas. I was working on it right before I started recording the first time. I didn't have a brain that functioning too well to get it done, but I actually did, it's about 6 pages worth. That's why it's taking me so long. Like I said, now it's 5:41. I shouldn't be rushing, but I don't feel well enough to, I just wish I'd put this out maybe 2 or 3 p.m. my time. Vancouver time, Pacific Standard Time. So it will be about the last 3 Elder Scrolls games, the ones that I have played this next video. I was going to include it here, but it's way too long and should be its own video. This one was difficult enough to get done, and recording and putting up all the clips to match what I'm saying along the way for that next video would have just broken me right now. Also, before Skyrim begins, there will be a video about the 4th era, to put it all into perspective before my Let's Roleplay actually begins. So after this video, there will be 2 videos before the Let's Roleplay starts. So, alright, a bit of an announcement. When Starfield comes out, I plan to put out a live stream of it as much as I'm able, which means several times a week until the game is completed. No one knows yet when the game will be out. Most guess it spring or summer 2023. Excuse me. But who knows, it could be delayed even further. Maybe even the end of 2023 or early 2024. I hope not. So, Q&A time. Forgive me if these are brief, just due to how I feel at the moment. I would have gotten this video out earlier, but I went off writing that next video, which was quite the struggle to get done. By the time I was done that, I just said, no way, it's too much for me right now. So, okay, we'll start with Yelp. I guess he is the oldest actual question. So, where do you see your channel in 5 years? And then he wrote, thought of another question. What inspired you to start the channel? And then we have Keys, I guess that's from THC. I can't wait to see them, bro. Well, thanks. Then DMC fan 1214 wrote, what is your thoughts on the Dragonborn and Serana ship? That wasn't easy for me to get at first. Serana ship? So I had it separated. But when you say it, actually say it out loud instead of just reading it. Makes sense. Serranaship, the relationship. And then he wrote, have you watched Dragon Age anime, Dragon Age Absolution? So, Yolp asks, where do you see the channel in 5 years? I see it growing more so than what it's done in the last 3, since I came back to my channel in May of 2020, so been 2.5 years actually, but I'll just say 3. My channel should be much larger than it is right now, and I'm not exactly sure why it isn't, but eventually it will get to where I want it. I don't plan to change what I'm doing on my channel. There will be refinements along the way, of course, like all channels trying to improve and grow. Just thought of another question, what inspired you to start the channel? Back in 2013, I just wanted to do something while I took care of my children and dealt with my injury. I am technically disabled due to my spine injury, and then I ran into a lot of debilitating neurological issues a few years after that, which have all cleared up now, thankfully. That's much of the reason why I came back in 2020. I was able to actually do work like this, put out videos like this. I guess when it comes down to it, I just felt like I wanted to produce something since I'm very artistic and I wanted to earn something along the way. So Keys from THC asks, can't wait to see you then, bro. Though it's not a question, it's a good statement. Thanks, Keys from THC. DMC fan 1214 asks, what is your thoughts on the Dragonborn times Serana, ex-Serana ship? The romance between Dragonborn and Serana. I think it's a great idea. I don't know Serana other than from her pictures, and I've listened to her voice through a few of the Serana dialogue add-on clips, which is the mod for Skyrim. She seems great. I'm just glad not to have to deal with Vilya again, since she lost the vote in the last poll. I've not touched much of Dawnguard or Dragonborn in Skyrim before, so it's all new to me, just like Vilya was in Oblivion, and I look forward to getting to know this Serana, this vampire girl. I haven't met her. I've never seen her in the game. As I said, I barely touched Dawnguard. I've never gone to Solstheim in Skyrim. I've just dealt with those guys that attack you on the roads. Which is always fun to have that mixed in, especially when you've got like Obis and all the bandits attacking you. Which I've toned down for this modded game I have coming. But her voice is kind of sexy, and it's really neat that the mod author was able to get the original voice actress to add thousands of lines to his mod. So he's included a romance into it. So with the original Dawnguard Serana, there was no relationship, there was no marriage. I'm not sure if he included marriage into the romance, but I assume something like that is there. His second question, have you watched the Dragon Age anime Dragon Age? Jeez, I'm tired. The Dragon Age anime Dragon Age Absolution. I watched it for a short bit. I just have to say the wokeness level is a bit too high way too high for me, actually. And a lot of people feel that way these days. I mean, I'm not going to judge you if you like that, that's fine. Just a few years ago I could have stomached it, but it's just too much for me now. I have a lot of Dragon Age books, and there's transgenderism, there's homosexuality in them. It's fine. Back in the day, I was more open to that. But, you know, with all this wokeness in modern day companies, a lot of people are being turned off from it. In fact, the majority of people are. That's why their stock of these companies are tanking, and their subscriptions are just dropping like flies. Like Netflix just announced it had lost 1 million subs. It's just not being accepted by general society anymore. As I said in a few channel news videos ago about the LGBTQ and grooming, I've had enough. It's not even a turnoff anymore. It's actually quite repulsive for me, and I just won't give these things my time or money. As I said, if you want to watch it, that's perfectly fine. I won't judge you. That's for you, just not for me. So I do also have to say Netflix, Disney, Marvel, DC, Hollywood, and comics of those. Pixar and Lucasfilm have all really suffered from the wokeness that they've been putting out, and they've been making course corrections in the last couple of years because of it, or they just will simply not exist anymore. But also remember, what's coming out now began 2 or 3 years ago, so these things do take time. I don't expect wokeness to be completely gone in a few years from now, but I do expect it to be toned quite down. I follow up of what's going on out there in I guess the film industry and just culture in general, and I keep hearing over and over again, everything's shifting. Like Zaslav taking over Warner Brothers, or whoever company he represented that bought out Warner Brothers, and he's just purged so much out of that, and what doesn't make money is gone. So yeah, things like that are happening, and as I said, if it's fine with you, that's okay. So, I guess I'll end it here. If you would like to help out and support Let's Roleplay, you can donate at my Patreon account or become a member of my channel, which also comes with its own perks. Just click on the join video to watch what I put together and what you as a member would get. Speaking of patrons, Patreon actually gives me 80% of the money given, whereas YouTube gives me 70%. However, you do get the perks with YouTube. Everyone who donates to me on Patreon are also getting their names posted as supporters at the end of my videos. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year, and thanks for watching.